Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Not sure when you're catching this. Bitcoin with Dinny, it's Dinny here. The biggest event ever to happen within the Bitcoin space. We've talked about this for years. Some people have talked about it for decades. But it's a matter of days away. And that's what I'm going to chat to you a little bit about, because it's the most important event for anyone who's investing in Bitcoin or not investing in Bitcoin or thinking about Bitcoin. Needs to understand why a spot ETF is such a line in the sand, and an exciting day for us. If you've been here and you've weathered the storm and you've been through the bear market, congratulations, well done. You've black eyes and bruises and blood leaking out of you because bear markets are brutal. But if you're still here, congratulations and well done. And if you're the class of 2023 or the class of 2024, also welcome. Okay, you're just in time. You've got the timing perfect. Some people will get the timing wrong. They won't come in until the class of 2025. And but you guys just happen to be right. So I'll just do my quick introduction before we get stuck in. I haven't been on the live now. Genie, must be it's well over a week anyway. Just been enjoying the Christmas. Walking up to the gym here now to go in and have the crack. Did get a bit of training in over Christmas. But Bitcoin with Dinny has been Ireland's first Bitcoin consulting agency, and we help people to build plans to retire early by using the highest performing asset on the planet, which is Bitcoin. And we give people actual correct information so they can understand it, and then they can make a much better investment decision on how to own it, why to own it, and how much to own. And as I always say, our talking heads have failed people because this is the highest performing asset on the planet. It allows me to retire early, it allows a lot of our clients to retire early, and all our financial talking heads only speak bad about it. Why, you might add? Because they work off incentives, okay? And it's not in their incentive to sell it, because every euro that goes into Bitcoin is a euro not going into their pocket. However, that all changes, baby. That all changes in approximately 7 days, okay? Where their incentives now shift, and they're going to be incentivized to sell your parents' Bitcoin if they have investment accounts, or maybe you if you have an investment account. And this won't happen, of course. Genie, the Irish financial advisors are going to be well lax and lazy. You're probably not going to hear them ringing you up and asking you, do you want to put Bitcoin into your account for at least 2 years? You may add a zero to the price of Bitcoin before you'll be getting any off your financial advisor, but he'll be getting more in fees, so he won't mind that the price has gone up, because he doesn't care about you. He only cares about himself. So that's the crack with the spot ETF. We have this is a line in the sand, okay? Because up to now we had Wall Street and the entire regular financial system against us, okay, and saying Bitcoin bad. And despite all that negative press, Bitcoin was still the highest performing asset for the last 15 years. So now that we rotate to having all that behind us and with us, how do you think we're going to perform over the next 15? Morning, Barney.
Morning, Diddy.
What's crack? So, how do you think we're going to perform over the next 15 years when you get all that weight of advertising? Okay, you've seen the Wolf of Wall Street, you've seen the floors full of eager young salespeople going to sell people. They don't give a shit what they're selling, they just want to sell because they get rich. Well, now they can sell Bitcoin, and they get paid on fees, okay? So they get paid based on performance. And why the hell would they sell anything other than Bitcoin when Bitcoin's the highest performing thing? Therefore, they get paid the most amount in fees. Like, this is just greed, people. And that is why Bitcoin is an unstoppable force. And for 15 years, we tried to stop it, and it couldn't be stopped. With the might of the financial industry against it, it could not be stopped. Okay? All your arguments against Bitcoin, for those who are newer on their journey, they're all incorrect. Read one Bitcoin book. Don't just assume, because you know nothing. And I have to deal with that every day in comments of people who've done no research and they assume they know something. I've studied Bitcoin for years. Every day I study Bitcoin for hours. I can't find a way to stop this thing. I can find ways to slow it down, but I can't find a way to stop it. If I could, because that's my mission, is to find how this thing can be broke. When I'm investing in something, I want to find out how I'm wrong. What's the counter to my thesis? And I'll study and study and study. And I can't find how this thing can be wrong. I can't find how it can be stopped. If you can, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Some naive person type in, the government will just ban it. Okay, well, China banned it and they couldn't stop it. In fact, they banned Bitcoin 5 times and unbanned it. Why? Because they can't stop it. They realise that you got to just embrace the thing. And China have a little bit more control of their people than Leo and the boys. So I don't think they've much hope. So this moment is a line in the sand, people. Okay, because up to now you didn't have it being embraced by Wall Street, by their whole financial system. And this is just a rotation. Okay, for those of you who don't understand, guys, do me a favour here. I'm out getting me exercise in on New Year's Day. In fact, I'm heading to the gym. I'm not sure if it's open. It says it is. So hopefully it is. I think it is. So do me a favour, hit the like button. Let's start this New Year's resolution. Okay? Today is the day for hitting like buttons, if ever there was a day. Because today is the day when you're going to do it. You're going to change your life. You're going to go to the gym. You're going to go running every day. Come on. See? So if you want to actually see if you're full of shit or not, hit the goddamn like button. Because if you can't hit the goddamn like button, you're not going to go to the gym, lad. Okay? I know you're not. You're going to give up. Most people do the same thing over and over and over again. And they wonder why they don't get results, especially in fitness. I've decades worth of running fitness companies, so I know a thing or two about it. I also broke my back, so I personally know a thing or two about the human body and rehabilitating it and all that good stuff. And maybe that's why I'm very motivated and I appreciate my body a little bit more than I used to before breaking my back. Okay, but this is just a transition, okay, to make this really simple for those at the back. Now, most people in this bull market are going to be speculators, and I'd say a good few people watching this will be, because this is the difficult thing. Same in fitness. I'm going up to the gym here, right? My workout was sort of similar enough, okay? I do all the compound lifts, I do bodyweight stuff, you know, like pull-ups, push-ups, all the really good stuff. That's the foundation of training, and that's the foundation of strength. But there'll be people here now, and they've been watching a few Instagram reels, and they're going to come up with some magical exercise movement that's just a fad and bullshit. And they're going to try it for a month, and nothing's going to happen, they're not going to change. And because they have the short-term mindset, then they're going to see some other Instagram reel of some other ripped person who didn't use that way to get fit, but is going to use it to sell you something. And then they're going to do that, and then they're going to get nowhere, and then they're going to jump to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And they're never going to get fit, and they're never going to get healthy, and they're never going to get strong. But they're just going to keep jumping from Billy to Jack. Exact same in the crypto space. Okay? Except it's even more difficult. Because we get these things called bull runs. And any sort of shit pumps. So you can literally buy anything, and it can go up a lot. Okay? Now the reason at Bitcoin With Dinny we don't build this into people's pensions is because historically 99% of people don't make money that way. So I'm not going to walk someone into an investment plan where they have a 99% chance of losing. And fair enough, the 1% chance if they do win, they can win big, but they're not the odds I want to play. Okay? They're not the odds that rich people play. Rich people play with the odds in their favour, not against them. They're the odds like poor people play. They play the lotto. You know, you're pretty much not going to win, but buy a ticket every day for your whole life. Why not, sure? It might be you. So, the goal will be to not get sucked into the crypto, to stick on course, to stick on plan. Okay? If you want to have a DGen plan, which I do myself personally, like, okay, and you want to speculate in some higher risk crypto tokens, you know, go ahead and do that. But if you don't have a Bitcoin strategy and you haven't focused on your accumulation, well then it doesn't make sense to me for you to touch anything else, because there's 99% chance you're going to get that wrong. And then when you do figure out that you need to start building your Bitcoin strategy, well, guess what? It's going to be a hell of a lot more expensive, so you're going to get a hell of a lot less of it. So you would have wished that you started accumulating it and done your high risk strategy, rather than just picking the high risk strategy, try and take the shortcut. Because remember, that's like all the people in the gym here now. Someone will be taking enhancers, someone will be getting some pills off the internet, someone will be on some powders that someone sold them, it's going to give them results faster. Some people even, remember when people in the gym used to hook themselves up to electricity and they used to mildly electrocute themselves so that would get them better results? Like, people are crazy. Imagine electrocuting yourself trying to get a better result in the gym. Anyway, I digress. So, stay the course, stick on plan. It's the biggest event ever. It's going to send Bitcoin on a 15-year bull run with massive volatility. Oh, the gym is actually closed. I better keep walking, so. It's going to send Bitcoin on a massive bull run with volatility. And if you were to ask me, I would just tell you that Bitcoin has already been on a 15-year bull run, because it has been. It's just how you perceive it. Most people don't perceive things as investments because most of us aren't investors. We don't have an investor mindset. All humans are terrible investors. Like, to be an investor means you got to buy something low, okay? So that means when nobody wants it. When it comes to buying with consumerism, it's easy to buy low. There's a car you like and it's sitting on the forecourt for 30 grand, and then the next week it's sitting there for 20 grand. You're like, oh my god, what a deal. Or if it's a handbag, or if it's anything consumerism, if it's cheaper, you'll buy it. But when it comes to investments, when they're cheaper, for some reason, I'm not wired like this, but most people are, they're afraid to buy it. They only want to buy it when the price is going up. So people are terrible investors. And that's beautiful, because if you actually study how to become an investor, it's like the market is your competition, meaning everybody else is who you are basically competing with in the market. And if most people are doing the wrong thing at the wrong time every time, well, life gets pretty easy for you once you figure out how to invest. And that's sort of what I done. I read books on getting rich when I was 20 because I wanted to get rich, and I just implemented that knowledge, and now I'm semi-retired, where I only work because I enjoy working, and I'm not a slave to anyone, and I own my time, which is a fantastic position to be in. And I know that that's achievable for everybody, because I didn't use Bitcoin to get there. Whereas now with Bitcoin, I'm like, it's so much easier for you buggers. So much easier. You don't have to build anything. You just have to own scarce digital property. So I'm going to finish off with one last little Dinny bomb for you here today, and hopefully share this video with people who you know, who are going to go down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, because all roads lead to Bitcoin. Okay, I wish there was some diversified strategy where you need a bit of this, a bit of that, but it's like the more study you do, you're just like, all roads lead to Bitcoin. Everything is pointing at the world's capitulating into this thing, and not even pointing at it, it's happening. It's literally happening before our eyes for the last 15 years. And if you're paying attention, you can see it, and if you're not paying attention, you'll be like, oh, that thing, the price went up, the price went down. Focus on the adoption, you retard. When you deal with bear markets and you're getting constant criticism of idiots for years, you know, it's hard to be humble, and I have to try and be more humble, because you can't just want to go, haha, I told you so, give me stick for all these years and you were dead wrong. But we'll try and stay humble. But my last little Dinny bomb is, okay, see all these things, they're all physical property. Okay, if you want to know what Bitcoin is, all Bitcoin is a transition from physical property to digital property, okay, as a monetary asset. Okay, now that's the key thing, because you can't live in a Bitcoin. But that's not why. The majority of the property, okay, in Ireland that's been bought, pretty much all the houses that are being bought in Ireland today, who are they being bought by? Not by people who want to live there. They've been bought by, I think there's a lot of UK big property companies, big building companies just coming in and buying everything. They don't give a shit you can live in the house. They don't care about that. They'll never live in the house. The only reason they've bought that property, okay, is for the capital appreciation. That's it. Just to leverage their capital and get more capital appreciation. That's the only reason they touch it. Okay? And they've got a cost to carry because the property deteriorates. They've got management costs. Okay? And they've got tax implications every year with that property. And now they have a digital property which fulfills all of the needs that they have. Okay? But doesn't have any of the disadvantages. And it outperforms the physical. So it's a much better property. You don't think they're going to figure that out? You don't think when Wall Street starts ringing them to educate them about this, not some lad walking on the street going to the gym who probably hasn't a clue. Sure, what does he know? No, some lad in a suit. You know the way when if you're in a suit, you have to be respected and treated differently. Well, I realise that anyway. When I drive my flashy car, if the doors go up, people treat me very differently than when I drive my car that I take the dogs for a walk, which is an older car, and I dress in normal clothes. People treat me differently, and that's just the way the world is. We have this preconception, okay, that people who have money or who look like they have money are different and more intelligent. And when Wall Street rings you up to say, you know, you got to get into some digital property, it's the future, that's when they listen. Okay, so I encourage you to continue your education, continue your learning. It's a really exciting time. It's an amazing time to be alive. In 10, 20, 30, 40 years, people are going to speak about you making the moves you made to rotate into digital property out of physical property before most people seen it coming. You'll talk about some crazy lad that used to walk around with his phone in his hand and he was so convicted and so sure, and no one could understand him at the time. But then 10, 20 years later, it just became obvious. It's kind of cool. It's going to be a good journey. Guys, it's a super day. I'm just going to get a walk in now. Might get a little jog in since the gym is closed. I'm just heading down the beach. Check it out. And I'll just finish with saying, Happy New Year to you. I hope 2024 is a great year for you. Stay healthy, that's the most important thing. Try not to die. It's feckin' hard, lads. So stay healthy and stay humble, and I'll try and stay humble, and we'll stack sats. Have a good day, Dinny out. If you need any help, check out bitcoinwithdinny.com. If you want to retire early, check out bitcoinwithdinny.com. If you need my help, check out bitcoinwithdinny.com. If you don't like working, check out bitcoinwithdinny.com. If you want more money to buy stuff, check out bitcoinwithdinny.com. Hello. So guys, enjoy our New Year's Day. Dinny out. Thanks for hitting the like button. If you haven't done your fucking daily exercise on New Year's Day, wait till I tell you. I'm going to be looking at these likes, and if there's any of them names, because I see you all watching, who haven't done your likes, well I tell you. Guys, have a good day. Dinny out.